Alright, how is everyone doing? Welcome to the channel. Thanks for joining in, especially to our live streamers here, live viewers here right now. So this is a live stream that we're kind of doing off the cuff. This will be a real gameplay between two of our team members. So we have Archer versus Jake. I should have turned off Discord notifications, but that is fine. So yeah, hopefully the quality isn't too bad. Recording and streaming and being in Tabletop Simulator at the same time is quite it's quite heavy on my PC, but hopefully it's all good. And yeah, let's have a game of BlightBreed, showcase it a little bit, and as we go, I will try and explain what is happening and what basically what everything is. So if you guys can sort it out between yourselves, the coin toss. So to start the game, you flip the coin, and whoever wins a coin toss gets to choose if they go first or second.
All right, call it, mate.
Heads.
Right, so that's tails. So
All
Archer,
right.
which
I will
over this
go
side
first.
gets to draw his cards, and
So
since yep,
this is a bit of a strategic decision because going first has some advantages that you can get set up. You have a little bit of initiative, but the first player can't attack or use adrenalines, whereas the second player can act normally.
yes. So
But with this deck, I'd like to go ahead and get set up.
yeah. So basically, as first player initiative, you get to you know, get set up first before the second player, but the second player actually does get to attack, where the first player can't attack, use any special abilities on their hybrids, or use any adrenaline cards. And on your first turn, you can mulligan any amount of cards, shuffle them back into your deck, and then draw the same amount of cards that you mulliganed, and you can never draw past 7, so it's always to 7. So if Archer here mulligans those two,
I'm already too.
and then he
Set them
mulligans
aside
2,
like I should.
then he shuffles his deck, or doesn't have to actually shuffle his deck since he set them aside. He can just draw 2, and then
Yep.
he shuffles.
And then put it on his shuffle.
Then he puts the other 2 back in, and then his deck is shuffled by either himself or the opponent.
Fantastic.
Whatever they feel comfortable with.
This is a fun opening hand. All right. So a couple of things. First, I'm going to throw down some vials. These
Yes.
vials are the main resources for everything you're trying to do. You can throw down vials at any point. They go into your vial reserves, and you can just drop all of them at once.
Yep. So essentially,
wanna
you
get
want
my
to
vial as well.
color code your vials, as Archer is doing right now. Very poorly. But no, you want to color code your vials. He is lagging a lot though. But you want to color code your vials. So there's red, green, and blue, and also pure vials. So red, green, blue, red, and green, or red, green, and blue, whatever. Essentially your standard vials, and then your pure vials are like your special vials, which can activate any amount of ability with any amount of vials and any vial color. You can only have up to 5 of them in your deck, where with the standard adrenaline, so your blue, reds, and your greens, you can have any amount in your deck that you like, up to 50 cards. You just have to be careful with, you know, not having too much of the one color or not enough of the one color. It's very much a balancing act when it comes to the vials in this game, because your vials are your resource for literally everything.
Yep. This is actually a perfect demo hand because I'm going to get to demonstrate all 3 of the major card types. So we saw vials. Our clan leaders are already out in the arena. These are the main victory condition. If either of us takes damage, enough damage to defeat our clan leader, we lose. So we're both trying to knock out our opponent's clan leader.
Yeah.
But the clan leader is a hybrid, and we have other hybrids. Just like the vials, you can drop these for free as soon as you get them, but they go out here into the podium. So I'm going to drop 2 hybrids.
So once you draw and you have some hybrids, he's actually got a another Tiger Clan hybrid out here, which is Tina, which directly correlates to Matthias's Tiger Clan. As you can see here, Tina, Matthias's Tiger Clan. That basically correlates back to your clan card, which we will get to once, hopefully, Archer or Jake actually gets to activate a tier on their clan card. So then these are the adrenalines. We don't have art for the adrenalines just yet. These are the adrenalines here. And that is actually, I mean, if actually
I'm
no,
about to fire
Archer
it off.
can't.
Go ahead.
You know, you can't actually use that right now because it's your first turn.
Oh, this is first turn.
Yeah, so he can't
I
actually use
had
that on his
already
first turn.
explained that even.
Yeah, so he can put a hybrid into his combat zone now if he likes. So he could probably he can only really put one hybrid into his combat zone at the moment because he doesn't have the vial cost as you see in the top right corner of Tina. He doesn't have the green vial cost. He can use a pure vial to pay for that if he really wants to. Or he can put Alora, because she is a pure vial cost, into the combat zone as well. So he can put either into the combat zone using the pure vial, which he might want to do, because if you don't have a hybrid in your combat zone, your clan leader can get attacked directly, and as we stated, if your clan leader is defeated, all clan leaders come with 120 damage, as you see down in the bottom right hand corner with that blue box with the like the defense arms. If that goes to 0 and your clan leader is defeated, you do lose the game. The only way to protect them is essentially by negating attack moves or having a hybrid in your combat zone.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get Alora out. So I will pay a pure vial to cover her play costs.
Yep, so Alora's play cost is actually a pure vial, so what Archer will do is he'll play the pure vial from his... you can only play vials from your vial reserves. He'll play the pure vial and put it into the exhausted pile, and then he'll move Alora up into the combat zone. Since it's his first turn, he can't use an adrenaline, and he can't actually attack. So now it automatically passes on to Jake.
Sweet, sweet. I'm going to draw my 7.
I really should have turned off Discord notifications. I'm sorry about that, guys and girls. So...
Hey, welcome to the stream.
Thanks for joining.
Howdy.
We've just started. I did my first turn. Jake is doing a mulligan, and then you'll see his first turn.
Yep, so this is Jake's first turn, so he is actually going to mulligan a few cards. He's got 3 that he wants to mulligan, so he will draw 3 back to 7. Then he will put his mulligan cards back into his deck, and then he'll shuffle his deck.
So risky putting this down against Matthias. I hate it.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Yeah, Matthias is quite difficult to play against as a clan leader. His Rage Machine special ability is really, really strong. So Rage Machine exhausts any 2 standard vials or 1 pure vial from your opponent's vial reserves, which is absolutely crazy. It's quite... it takes up quite a few of your resources. It is 3 vials to play, so it is 2 red and 1 colorless, as you see there. So colorless basically means you can play a red, blue, or a green along with it, or another red with it.
It's also red. It's also red heavy, which I did not build this deck to be good at, because when I built the deck, a bunch of these cards didn't need as much of red as they now do.
Yeah, we changed it up a
We'll
little bit.
see how much that hits me.
It's funny
I want to
because...
play Rejected.
Ooh.
First of all, rude.
Ooh.
Second of all, how dare you?
So Rejected is... That was a decent move. Rejected, so your opponent cannot draw any cards at the start of their next turn. 1 per deck limit. To get Rejected off this early is actually quite rare. You don't see it really getting pulled off this early. But since Jake actually didn't draw any hybrids on his turn, he doesn't really have a choice but to use Rejected, so Archer can't draw on his next turn, because on his next turn he'll be able to draw more vials and potentially.
That is
more
an
hybrids.
imprecise statement. I do not draw at the beginning of my turn. Are you done with your turn, Jake?
I am.
Okay, so Archer does have something where he can draw a couple more cards. So only I can see their hands, because I'm the game master. And in this TTS, they can't actually see each other's hands. Just to clarify that.
So to walk through the process of an adrenaline, this is the 3rd card type that you'll see. So these, I'm going to pay the play cost.
which for
is
that
one
is
blue.
1 blue. That is Deck Master, so draw 3 cards anytime during your...
So I play the card, and it immediately has its effect.
Yeah, so he can draw... Archer can now draw 3 cards, which he did a decent draw, which is... but Alora doesn't take any blue or greens, which is very, very lucky for Jake.
I'm not thrilled with it.
Yeah, so he can. So what Archer can actually do if he really likes is he can actually switch out Alora. So you can switch hybrids once per turn. So he can actually pull back Alora and put up someone like Brutus or Tina. He actually has the vials to put either of them up.
Alternately,
you have to,
what I could do, because I'm a crazy person.
When you pull back a hybrid, you pay the vial cost for the replacing hybrid. So you have to replace a hybrid if you pull back a hybrid. You can't pull back a hybrid and then not replace them. You have to replace that hybrid. And he doesn't have to replace it with a hybrid that has a cost either. So as you can see on the clan leaders, they actually don't have a cost. So what Archer might actually do is he might actually push up Matthias now, which is what I actually thought he was going to do. And he's going to Tiger Claw.
We're going to spend 2 blue. And Tiger Claw for 50.
So,
and since there is no one rude...
Oh, parry. Rude. That was a nice parry. So
since there's not a hybrid in Jake's combat zone, any attack moves I do will just do damage directly to Charles the clan.
Yeah. So what happened there, though, was Archer used Tiger Claw, which is deal an additional 10 plus damage for each blue vial you exhaust from your vial reserves. So Archer basically didn't use the attack move ability, he just used his standard attack, which is 50 for Matthias, which is quite high. Your clan leader's standard attacks are quite high unless they have an insane special ability like Charles, which is his Hardened Claws ability is quite strong, so his base damage is quite low. Down the bottom there you'll see the red box, which is the base damage. But then what Jake actually did to negate Matthias's base damage was he used an adrenaline card called Parry, which is negate any attack move from the hybrid in your opponent's combat zone. So Jake completely negated Archer there, and once you let off an attack move, regardless if you use the attack move ability or just says standard attack damage, that automatically ends your turn. So it's now back onto Jake.
I will say, actually, before I do hand over turn, there is one more note I need to make, because I have 3 tigers on the field.
You do, yes. So
I have activated the first tier of my clan card.
A green one.
Okay.
So you use these green counters depending on what tier you have on your clan card. So I guess now we can quickly explain clan cards. So the more Tiger Clan, so the more of the clan that you get in of the clan leader that you're using. So Archer is using Matthias, which is the Tiger Clan, and he has, as you can see, he has 2 other Tiger Clan hybrids in his podium. So he has Tina and Brutus, and then he also has Matthias, which counts as 3. And then we look at his clan card, which is tier 1, 3 Matthias clan hybrids. So his tier 1 is whenever you defeat an opponent's hybrid, you may take back 2 standard vials from your exhausted pile, which is quite strong. If you can defeat, one of their hybrids, you get essentially 2 free vials from your exhausted pile back, and that is kind of like a passive automatic effect. There's no way to destroy clan cards. Clan cards can't be destroyed. They can't be permanently deactivated. However, there is a hybrid in here, which I think it might be Sheath, that does disable them for 3 consecutive turns. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm on Sheath right now. Crippling Poison. For 3 consecutive turns, your opponent's clan card has no effect. So she is the only hybrid or only card in this game currently that can actually disable a clan card for any amount of time.
Okay. But that covered, it is in fact Jake's turn.
But now, yes, so now he's got his, he fired off Matthias's move, Jake negated it, and now it's Jake's turn, and he has done a fairly lovely draw. He's done a really good draw, actually.
I'm really excited about that. I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
Alt text. Shit.
Alright, so Jake has put down Victoria. Victoria actually pairs really well with Matthias for the most part. So in BlightBreed, you have to have 5 of your clan in in your deck. So for example, if you're using Charles, he's your clan leader, you have to have 4 of his hybrids in your deck, but the other 5 hybrids can be of any other clan. But you're not allowed to double up on hybrids. So obviously you can't double up on a clan leader, and you can't double up on standard hybrids. You can only have one of a specific hybrid per deck.
That ends my turn.
So you
Alright.
aren't going to. Okay, so you can't.
You can't.
No. So Zera is a very strong hybrid. Actually, I'm surprised. Jake actually put Zera in instead of Victoria.
There's a reason.
Okay, but there must be a reason. Jake is probably planning something here, but Zera is actually a really strong hybrid, and she has a very strong attack move ability, dealing additional 10 plus damage for each hybrid the opponent has in their podium. So that goes off their podium. So as you can see, 30 plus down the bottom, and then if Jake were to attack with Zera, it's plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, which brings her attack up to 60. And then if you look at her special ability, Healing Aura, remove damage counters equal to 30 for any one of your hybrids in your arena. So the arena is the whole thing. When it states the arena, that covers the podium and the combat zone. There will be some cards that state just the podium or state just the combat zone, but she's very powerful because she can heal any hybrid, including herself, in the arena, which covers the podium and the combat zone. So Jake ended his turn, so we're back onto Archer, who's now going to draw 7. Not a bad draw.
I'm going to go ahead and fire off a Deckmaster.
Alright, so Deckmaster is draw 3 cards anytime during your turn. Yep. So that is now put into the exhausted pile. And he actually got a decent draw from that. What hybrid Archer would probably be looking for right now is probably Victoria, because Victoria and Matthias tether together very, very well. They have probably some of the best synergy in the game at the moment, Victoria and Matthias. Jake actually has Victoria out, where who is actually a part of Matthias' Tiger Clan, where unfortunately Archer does not have a Victoria out just yet. But the reason they tether so well is because if you look at Matthias' Rage Machine, exhaust any 2 standard vials or 1 pure vial from your opponent's vial reserves, which is really strong. It's quite costly. We actually had to nerf it. It used to be just 2 vials. We had to add 1 extra play cost to it because it was too strong with just the 2 vials. And then if you look at Victoria's Tiger Pounce, is if your opponent has less than 5 vials in their vial reserves, deal an additional 40 plus damage. As you can see down the bottom right, her standard damage is 40 plus, and then the special, the attack move ability is 40 plus, so that brings it up to 80. So she's literally basically a one-hit hybrid killer, pretty much, for basically 90% of hybrids. For those that don't know, special abilities can actually be used from your podium, so you don't actually need to be in your combat zone to use special abilities. So Victoria, in your combat zone, tethered with Matthias in your podium, using Rage Machine with Tiger Pounce is absolutely brutal combo.
So I am going to use Rage Machine real quick for 2 reds and a green.
So Archer, yeah, as you saw, Archer just spent 2 reds, and since the 3rd vial for Rage Machine is a colorless, he can use any color he likes. So he used 2 reds and a green, and now he's going to. Now with Rage Machine, he can exhaust any 2 standard vials or 1 pure vial from his opponent. And I think you took 2 reds away from Jake, right?
A red,
a green and a red.
A red and a green, right. I guess that was
so
2.
I'm going to pay...
Yep.
I'm kind of hedging. I'm going to pay a pure vial to activate Matthias's Tiger Claw. and then pay 1 extra blue. So he does a total of 60 damage to 0.
So unless Jake can negate that, which he cannot, unfortunately, because Archer purposely took his red vial away, so he couldn't. So Jake couldn't use Iron Fur, which is Charles's special ability, which is negate any one of your opponent's hybrid attack moves for the hybrid in your combat zone. Unfortunately, Matthias is a bit of a difficult hybrid to deal with sometimes because clan leader to deal with sometimes because of his rage machine. So Archer purposely took away his only one, basically his one red vial, Jake's one red vial, so he couldn't use Iron Fur to deflect Matthias's attack move. So now,
and since I defeated the hybrid in the combat zone, I deal my base damage to the clan leader, which is 50.
Yep. So now, after you defeat, so as he said, after a hybrid is defeated in your opponent's combat zone, you get a free play cost, free vial cost attack of the hybrid in your combat zone's base damage on their clan leader, or any card really in their podium. So any hybrid in their podium you can attack, but you would go for the clan leader 99% of the time because the aim of the game is to defeat the clan leader and win. So that automatically ends Archer's turn because he used an attack move.
There is actually, hang on, there's one more effect. Because I am tier 1 on my Matthias clan card, I get to return 2 vials for defeating a hybrid.
That is true, yes. So he is on tier 1 of his clan card, so he gets 2 standard vials back from his exhausted pile, which is here.
Alrighty, now it is your turn.
So he took 2 blues back with his essentially passive tier 1 ability of his clan card. So now it's onto Jake, which is getting a lot. He's getting a lot of these types of cards, which is good. I'll try to show off the adrenalines as much as I can. This one here, no, not that one, sorry. This one is absolutely amazing, especially mid to late game. I personally think it's a little bit overpowered, but that's okay.
Hey, welcome to the stream, Mac.
Hey Mac, thanks for joining. Alright, so right now Jake is putting Kumakichi into the combat zone.
That's literally all I can do.
But Kumakichi is actually quite good if you don't have too many hybrids because his play cost is actually a free vial. Well, it's not a free vial, it's a colorless, so you can use any color vial to put him into the combat zone. And a lot of his abilities also require any type of vial, which is also really handy. But unfortunately, Jake doesn't have many vials at the moment.
Your turn.
So Jake can't do anything.
Well, that's profoundly unfortunate.
So he's going to hand his turn over to Archer.
I am going to discard a switch up and a Kumakichi. So when you draw, before you draw at the beginning of your turn, you have the option of discarding any number of cards before you draw up to 7.
From your hand, yes.
So I'm going to discard these 2.
Can someone please mute Mac? Yeah, can we mute him for the stream?
I don't hear him anymore.
I can still hear him on my end.
Oh,
I think
I don't know how to do it server side.
Mac, could you mute yourself, please?
Oh, there we go. Server mute.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, where are we up to? So Archer is actually in a much better position than Jake is in right now. But oops.
Yes.
The tides can turn in this game though, so you can think that you're doing amazingly and you're going to absolutely dominate, and then all of a sudden the tides just turn.
However, what's going to happen right now is I'm just going to go ahead and just pay 2 to activate Tiger Claw.
Yeah, but this is since Jake doesn't have any vials, it's actually really difficult for him to do anything. Unfortunately, his vial draws haven't been the best. So
They have been garbage.
they have been fairly garbage for Jake. But hybrid and vial draws have been really good for Archer. So
Yep.
I think
And then I'm gonna spend 2 extra blues to get myself up to 70 damage and explode Kumakichi.
explode Kumakichi. So Kumakichi's defeated, and now Archer gets to take 2 vials back. He literally gets to take the 2 blues back because of his clan card. He's tier 1, and then that's another 50 on Charles. And I'm pretty sure, unless Jake gets a really good draw this hand, he might have to discard a lot of his actual vials that he has in his hand that he may not want to discard, so he can get a decent draw, because you can only draw up to 7. So he's going to want to. This
is when you throw everything away to get the vials you need.
Yeah, that's harsh, but he needs vials. Yeah. There we go. That's something. So now Jake is being really cautious with this card because of Matthias.
You have to be really careful what vials you put down if you're not immediately.
Yeah, so because of Matthias's Rage Machine, you gotta be careful. As Archer basically just said, you really have to be careful what vials you put into your vial reserves, because Rage Machine is one really tough ability to deal with.
Now about one move I can make, I think.
Probably. I'm not gonna. So I'm gonna put Laura into the combat zone.
And I know he's just gonna freaking stop my attack, but I'm gonna try attacking with Fatal Tomahawks.
So Fatal Tomahawks, the hybrid in your opponent's combat zone takes damage equal to their full defense. This ability may be negated if your opponent exhausts any 2 vial from their vial reserves.
Yep, I will pitch a red and a green to negate that. Yeah, Alora is unfortunately a very specialized tool, and she is not for the situation that Jake currently finds himself.
Yeah, so Alora is actually a rogue hybrid, and you can only have up to one. Well, you can only have one rogue hybrid or hidden rare in your deck. Some rogue hybrids are hidden rares, some hidden rares aren't rogue hybrids. Doesn't really matter. But you can only have one hidden rare or one rogue hybrid in your deck, and Alora is actually the rogue hybrid in the deck that Jake is currently using. So there won't be any more rogue hybrids. And rogue hybrids are quite strong. Most of them do require a pure vial to play into the combat zone, and generally their defense is a little bit higher than average, and all their moves are really strong. And Alora is a bit of both. Her defense is a little bit above average, and her Fatal Tomahawk's ability is quite her attack move ability is quite strong. And Pure Insanity, if you read her special ability, is also quite an amazing ability, because you can get back a pure vial from your
the problem with Alora is that Alora's attack move is for when your opponent is drained of vials, and it's a good threat on board to keep them from spending all their vials. However, I am not behind on vials, so this is really not, unfortunately, the time for Alora. It's just the only tool available.
Yeah.
But yep, that was an attack move, negated or not, so it passes over to my turn. And I'm going to throw away a Distill to draw 5.
Oh, man, that is...
And I got gas.
Archer
you got me. You got me.
This is game. All right, guys. Let's refresh. Let's switch up decks a little bit. Yeah. That's
definitely. I'm gonna try that.
That's GG. The reason we're calling that game is because on that move, Archer would have defeated Alora, and then would have attacked Charles for 50 again, and then it would have been game over. Because it would have went to like 150 damage, where the defense on a clan leader is only 120. Well, I say only 120. 120 is actually very high, but it would have defeated Charles. So that is they called it early because they knew there's essentially nothing that Jake could do in that situation. Unfortunately, there was a couple of things there that Jake got unlucky with, his draws, and also because, as I explained,
I had
Charles,
like a perfect draw.
yeah, Archer was getting very, very good draws. Jake was getting very mediocre draws, and Charles' deck is an old deck that I personally built quite a while ago, so it's not the best. It's not the best deck at the moment. Charles' deck will be rebuilt eventually once I get around to
Also,
it.
honestly, we've been going back and forth whether Matthias's Vile Hunter can exist in its current state. We actually nerfed the Vile cost last time. We're still kind of watching it in play, this current version in playtesting. That may end up nerfed again. We'll have to see.
He's
But that game was not
Matthias's
unfortunately not
Rage
100%
Machine.
because of draws. That's the one. Sorry, I'm thinking of the Adrenaline Vile Hunter. Yeah, Rage Machine.
Rage Machine, yeah. So Matthias's Rage Machine is, in my opinion, I mean, I think it's a really strong ability. We might nerf that in a way, not that ability itself, but the cost of it. So we can nerf that to 2 reds and 1 green, or 2 reds and 1 blue instead of a colorless.
Honestly, I was thinking we may want to nerf the ability instead to just make it target a vial, like for 2 maybe.
But then if we nerf it too
Because
much, then it kind of becomes
I could have still
pointless.
I could have still done what I needed to do, which was remove that 1 red.
Only in that situation though,
them
because Jake had such bad vial draws. But if you nerf Matthias to the extent of only 1 vial, it's like no one really will care about Rage Machine anymore. Do you know what I mean? I think the way to nerf that.
Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I think the way to nerf it is make it
later,
instead of 1 colorless, make it a colored of 3.
Yeah. For the moment, we'll watch it and get some more gameplay in it. So we've got 2 totally different decks, and now I have to face down my Daedric control deck.
So so we got a Jules deck versus a Daedric deck. Jules has been changed up a little bit, and so has Daedric's the same essentially. But Jules has actually been changed quite a bit since since last time. But it's still essentially the same. We just kind of got rid of the few drawbacks that she did have on her abilities, and yeah, so she's quite a viable clan leader now, where before she was probably the weakest of the 5. All right.
Tails.
Heads.
That was the worst coin flip I have ever seen in my whole entire life.
The animation is jacked.
This is a jank animation. I'll go ahead and go first. Go ahead and draw my 7.
I should have really turned off my Discord notifications, but
And
that was
probably with that. I think I'll mulligan 1.
you have that is a really Arch is getting so lucky with his draws. Have you guys been shuffling each other's decks or what?
We shuffled our own decks.
Maybe Arch has done some sort of special code that if he shuffles his own deck, he gets to
Oh yeah.
he gets all the
Hacked
good cards.
Tabletop Sim.
Yeah, he's hacked Tabletop Simulator. So Archer straight away by what is going on here?
Oh god, lag.
By essentially on his first draw has activated tier 1 of Jules's clan card, because that is 3 Fox hybrids, Jules hybrids. So we have Samuel, Jules, and then Smitty, and then tier 1 of the clan card is activated for Jules, which is you may mulligan up to 2 cards on each draw at the start of your turn, shuffle them back into your deck, draw an extra 2 off the top. So it's actually quite a good tier 1, and you can do that at the start of each. Who just dropped out? Did someone drop out?
Leaf.
Right, okay. So yeah, so tier 1 of Jules's clan card is actually quite good for you can mulligan 2 cards at the start of your turn every turn.
Yep. Just a little bit of draw control.
Yeah.
So I think who do I need to get out?
Oh, that's a good
I'll go ahead
card
and
to have, Archer.
kinda...
Not right now, but
Yeah, that was worth holding on to. I think I'm going to go ahead and spin a green and get Samuel.
alright. So Archer's gonna move Samuel up.
And pass the turnover.
So what are Samuel's abilities? He's got Angry Bite. So if you discard an Adrenaline in your hand, deal an additional 30 plus damage. So that tethers off his 30 base damage down the bottom. And then Cheat Sheet, draw any one standard Adrenaline from your deck, show your opponent placed into your hand, shuffle your deck. Cool. Alright, so Archer, as we've stated, he can't he can't do anything on his first turn. So we're on to you got him. And what is happening now?
It's like he's giving me shit hands and he's getting all the good hands.
Well, that's a good hand.
You
just have to mulligan, yeah. So you mulligan 4. There we go. That's not bad. I'll put the 4 back for you and I'll shuffle your deck.
Thank you.
Alright, so it's actually not bad. Alright, so this right here, I'm not going to say which one it is. This is a different type of Adrenaline, which we haven't seen yet. This one is a overcharged Adrenaline, and you can only have 1 overcharged Adrenaline per deck. There's also something called Alliance Adrenaline, so if you come over here and look at Dedrick X Valerie, and you can also have 1 Alliance Adrenaline per deck. So you can have 1 overcharged Adrenaline and 1 Alliance Adrenaline. And so he just pulled his overcharged Adrenaline. And that's that one there, which I'm not going to read out because then Archer will know which one it is. And yeah, so that's just a little bit of explaining on the Adrenalines there.
Fortunately, not quite enough to get Zera out and Will-O-Wisp, because Will-O-Wisp is already pretty good.
Oh, he can get Zera out actually with
if he pair vials.
That's either that or my clan leader.
Yeah.
It's rough.
I mean, it's good though. And then you can Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. It's not quite enough, fortunately. It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, 50 damage. Alright, I'll do it.
So right now Jake is using Will-O-Wisp with Zera, which is 1 red and 1 blue cost. And what Will-O-Wisp is deal an additional 10 plus damage for each hybrid in the opponent has in their podium. So Archer has 2, so Zera is dealing 50, so Samuel takes 50 damage. Just not enough to defeat him, unfortunately, but
just barely.
Very, very, very unfortunate. Just not enough. But that was an attack move, so now it moves straight onto Archer's turn.
Yep. And I'll draw up to 7.
So Archer, with his clan card, can actually mulligan any 2 cards he likes in each draw at the start of his turn. In tier 1 of his clan card.
Oh, I may keep that. Hang on, let me do some math here.
So even to while Archer is doing some math, you can actually even if say one of your Fox clan is defeated, the clan card still stays in play, and that goes for all the clans. So even if you have your full Fox clan out and you hit tier 3 on your clan card, even if 3 of them are defeated, your clan card still stays in play. Just to clarify that.
So I'm going to go ahead and fire off Love Lust on Jules.
So Love Lust.
On your turn, you cannot use attack moves.
On your opponent's next turn, they cannot use any attack moves.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, whoever that was. Sorry, I didn't see who joined. So yeah, so the special ability Love Lust, unless Jake has a negate, like a special ability negate, he can't attack on his next turn. So Zera is basically, you do this, you get one of the red multi-turn counters, which is a negative counter, and you'd put it on Zera knowing that there's a negative effect on her. And I mean, it's only for one turn, so you're not going to get confused with what that negative effect means. But just in case, we put that multi-turn negative effect counter on her, just so you know that she's negatively affected by something, which is actually Jules' Love Lust.
And then I'm going to go ahead and fire... Oh, no, I'm going to drop Yolanda.
Oh, so that's 4.
Which is 4 foxes, brings me up to tier 2.
So now Archer has 4 of Jules' clan in his arena, which takes him to tier 2 of his clan card, which is also it adds on top of tier 1, so it carries over. So now he can mulligan 2 cards, and he can also tier 2 also means standard adrenalines you play that cost 2 or more vials cost 1 fewer vial. So now his adrenalines, which cost, it's basically
I just realized it doesn't specify which one, so can they just choose whatever vial they want to pay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just 1 less vial. So it's just it's just any 1 less vial. So if you say there's a an adrenaline that costs 2 reds and 1 blue, you can choose just to pay with 1 red and 1 blue, or 2 reds.
And then I will spend red and green to activate Angry Bite.
So Angry
I will
Bite.
discard a Disruptive Catalyst.
Okay, so Angry Bite, so what Archer has just done is if you discard an adrenaline in your hand, do an additional 30 plus damage. So what Archer has just done is he's discarded Disruptive Catalyst. So now Samuel is dealing 60 damage on Zera. Zera has 60 defense, and that defeats Zera. But since Jules' effect of Love Lust is still in play, the negative effect will now go over to Dedrick, since it's only his since currently is Jake's only hybrid in the combat zone, in his whole arena.
I'm going to go ahead and just put it on the combat zone. That's probably clearer.
Yeah, just put it on the combat zone. That's fine. Yeah, but then just put it next to
All
it.
right, and I used an attack move. Pass over to Jake.
Awesome.
Jake is getting burnt here. Last game he was getting a ton of hybrids and no vials. This game he's getting a ton of vials and no hybrids. That's very unfortunate. We can't forget though that Archer is actually quite good at this game. Archer dominates all of us every single time. Telling you, he's hacked TTS. He's hacked it.
These draws are, these 2 games have been very silly.
They've been good,
I mean, I can't attack anyway, so there's no point putting in there. Fuck.
I mean, probably, maybe this, maybe this one, Jake?
Which one?
This one?
I can't see what you're looking at.
Can you see my, yeah, this one?
Yeah, I could play that.
That's probably your smartest bet. And then,
I don't know if I want to.
I don't know who you have though. I don't know who you, I mean, you could get that back. You can get you can get a hybrid back. You can get, quite a few things back if you play that.
Yeah, I guess I'll play that.
You're gonna have to. So he's going to use Invigorate, which is on your turn, place any 3 cards from your exhausted pile back into your hand. And that costs 2 reds, 1 colorless.
Oh, hey, Mochi. Jenny has arrived.
Hey, Jenny. Jenny's actually a part of the team. She's a lead designer, so she actually won't be muted. This is the second game, and Archer, as usual, Jenny has been absolutely dominating. Every single time. Right now, Love Lust is active. That's why we
But
have
if I
that.
want to put Zera back, yeah, there's no point.
But you're gonna have maybe not, but yeah, he's playing Jules. But
Because if I pay a Pure Vial to put him here, he's just gonna kill her again and
well,
then
no,
attack my guy.
because you have this.
Oh yeah, I do have 2.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he's gonna hit Dedrick unless you actually put Zera up. Yeah. So the negative
That
effect,
will
It'll at
end
least
my
one turn.
turn.
and that
Alrighty, I'll draw my 6.
that ends Jake's turn. You are getting some ridiculous draws, Archer.
This one's fine. Mull that. And mull a red. Which is information I guess I didn't have to actually give away, but whatever. Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't get to complain about my draws at this point.
No.
Like, this is not as perfect as I would like, but that's still fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's decent. I think it was better before pre-Mulligan, but that's fine.
Nah, I'm happier with this, actually. You know what? I'm going to do something slightly silly. I'm going to pay a Pure Vial for Deckmaster.
That is quite silly. Why is it still called Adrenaline 1? I don't understand. Oh, maybe it wasn't slightly silly.
And then I'm going to play a blue for Deckmaster.
You can't. What? You can only draw. No,
2.
you've gone to 8 now. You're gonna have to put one back.
But there's not a... Every time we've had this...
You can't draw past 7.
Debate. Every time we've had this debate, we've decided there is not a hand limit.
No, there is. You can't draw past 7. There's always been a hand limit.
Okay. Well, I'll drop Kenny first then.
Yeah, so Zera has to go back.
No, I'll draw... Then instead of doing that, I'll play Kenny and then draw my 3. Then I'm fine.
It's getting a little bit sketchy there,
I'll just order
Archer.
it differently.
It's getting a little
Kenny
bit
was
sketchy.
already in my hand.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit sketchy there, man. Jake's already on the back foot, taking back moves and doing the sketchy stuff.
I sketched to win.
That's a bit sketchy. You can never draw past 7. So even if you use Deckmaster, if you have 5 cards, you can only draw 2. Because Deckmaster is you draw 3 cards anytime during your turn. You can use it even if you have 5 cards, but you can only draw 2 cards. You can never draw past 7.
All right. Well, if you're this opposed to people drawing cards,
Oh, it's always been like that. There's never been.
rejected.
Oh,
So now Archer's gone back on moves, and he's rearranging the game, trying to rearrange how the game's played, and he's rejecting Jake. Oh, some shifty stuff going on here. Tell you what.
Oh, what? Rejected is fine when it's being played on me, but not when I'm playing it?
Well, not when you're
I
going
see how it
when you're doing things in
I
the
see
wrong
how
order.
it
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah. Right, just for clarity's sake, I mean, this should be a well-known rule by now among the team. You cannot draw past 7 no matter
except
what.
that it comes up as a debate every time.
But you cannot draw past 7. You cannot draw past 7. The only time you can ever draw past 7 is if you have Dedrick's clan card, which allows you to draw up to 8 cards instead of 7 at the start of your turn. If that's his tier 3. But you cannot draw past 7 no matter what.
Alrighty.
Right. So no more shifty business, Archer.
Yeah.
You're gonna win anyway, probably, poor Jake, because of your.
I mean,
you dominate in this game just in general, and then pulling some shiftiness like that. Like, all right, well, I'll just put down Kenny first.
I'm not angry about.
That's funny.
So I'm literally going to discard 0 for hand size, probably. Angry Bite, I will discard a Disruptive Catalyst.
Alright, it's angry by you have to discard a
Deal
adrenaline
60.
and then pay a red and then any color and then he can deal 60
Huh.
damage.
Look at you.
Any
All right,
parry.
Probably the
good
only
damage.
thing I got.
That's a nice parry. And then unless
Very much so.
Archer can negate that back, which I don't think he can,
I can't.
that ends Archer's turn.
Well played. No, you don't draw this turn.
Oh, you're right.
Alright, so Jake actually accidentally drew. I think we can just do this.
I guess we're gonna find out, huh?
Yep, and then Jake can't actually draw this turn because Archer used rejected.
Well, then it's your turn because I can't do anything.
Can you
Alrighty.
incubate?
I can. Yeah, I could.
Yeah,
Good.
I'd probably
I think
incubate.
that-
Yeah.
So this is something that hasn't come up yet.
Oh yeah,
So let's
incubating
talk about
vials. So at the start of your turn, after you draw, once you put down your vials, if you draw vials into the podium, you can do something called a vial incubation, which is where you flip over standard vials, so you can't incubate pure vials, which are the golden vials, but any 3 of the standard vials you can flip over, which is starting the incubation. Has to be at the beginning of your turn, right after you draw and put down vials, so you can't play any hybrids into the podium, activate any special abilities or add any adrenalines. Has to be right at the start of your turn. You flip over that color vial you want to incubate, and essentially that color vial is out of commission for your attacking turn, if you want to call it that, and also your defending turn, so basically 1 round. But then once it gets back to you, you can reflip that vial, and from your exhausted pile, you can get 2 more of that vial back. So what Jake has just done, since he can't do anything anyway, since he got rejected, the adrenaline, Archer used the rejected adrenaline on Jake, which stops your opponent from drawing on their next turn. Since Jake can't do anything anyway, what he's going to do is he's just going to incubate a red vial, since he can't do anything regardless. Whether it's on his attacking phase or his defending phase, he can't do anything. So he's just going to incubate a red vial, so at least when it gets back to him, if it's not game over, he can get 2 red he can have 3 red vials by getting 2 red vials back from his exhausted pile. So that's essentially vial incubation in a nutshell.
Yep. All right. So beginning of turn, I will in fact discard 0 to draw more.
All right, that kind of fixes your error there, Archer. That kind of, I'll let your error slip a little bit now.
Okay. Well, I'll draw 5.
Yes, not 10, 5.
Eventually.
Oh man.
There we go.
Oh no.
Archer, what the hell, man? I swear you've hacked this game or something. I swear.
All right. So I'm going to. That's fine.
Sorry about the Discord notifications, guys. For those that are watching the stream and for those watching this video back, I forgot to turn them off because I'm a complete moron. Anyway,
I'm going to show off an option you always have, which is an interesting little edge case. So you can only have a total of 5 hybrids in your arena, even if you have an empty slot on your podium. So I want to play Taylor, but I cannot. However, you always have the option of paying a hybrid's play cost to discard them off of the podium.
Yeah. So So since Archer has Taylor, which he's putting out right now into his podium, which gives him full Wolf Fox Clan. What he's done is he's discarded Kenny because Kenny is Bear Clan. And the way to discard a hybrid from your podium, as he just explained, is by playing the play cost for that hybrid. And you can't actually put them back into your hand or anything, but you can discard them from your podium into the defeated pile. There are moments you have to be careful with that, especially if someone is using a Valerie deck, because Valerie's main attack move ability is based off how many hybrids your opponent has in their exhausted pile. So using a Valerie deck, you have to, if someone's using a Valerie deck against you, you have to be very careful with just discarding hybrids. But obviously, Jake's not using a Valerie deck, so Archer's discarded Kenny. He's put in Taylor, which means he has the full Fox clan now, which is 5 hybrids, and he's got tier 3 of his clan card, which is actually really, really rare to actually see in a game. I mean, even tier 1 is quite rare a lot of the time, and Archer's actually gotten to tier 3. So he's got the full clan card unlocked, which means on tier 3 for Jules clan, on your turn you may draw any one standard adrenaline from your exhausted pile and place it into your hand. So he can do all of tier 1, 2 and 3 in one turn, which is absolutely brutal since Jake is already on the back foot. Archer's cheating by changing around the rule set and also rejecting rejecting Jake. So Archer is really good at this game though. Archer absolutely dominates.
So I would like to make an argument for slightly tweaking a card. You remember me mentioning before that rejected should probably be an overcharged adrenaline?
Yeah, we actually Jenny and I, so Mochikano and I actually talked about that recently as well. That it should probably.
I would like to make my case. I would like to go ahead and make my case. I will activate the Jules clan ability and put the rejected from my discard pile into my hand.
Oh my god.
And then I will pay a pure vial to play Invigorate.
Oh god! So he's gotten rejected back with the tier 3 of the clan card. Plus he's using Invigorate, which allows you to get 3 cards back from your exhausted pile and put them back into your hand. So, I mean, that's game over. Jake can't come back from this. I don't think. If this were me, I would probably call it if I was in Jake's position. But I think Jake, and now I think Archer, yeah, he's going to get 3 pure vials from his exhausted pile and with Invigorate, and that is, in my opinion, that is game. As I said, if I was in Jake's position, I'd probably say GG, good game, you absolutely dominated me, especially because he is now rejected as well, so...
Yeah, that's GG.
That's GG.
Yeah, so Jules got a lot better, guys.
Because, I mean, no, you're just good at this game. I mean, you did get a few lucky draws, but you just know what to play exactly when. You're very...
Dude, Jules got a lot better, guys.
Yeah,
So
Jules...
he always has hybrids, he always has files, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's very good at,
You too can win if you hack Tabletop Simulator.
He's very good at arena control, yeah. Archer. He really knows how to resource manage really, really well. But he did get a few lucky draws, and he did do some shifty things in there, which I'm still, kind of dirty at him about. Trying to draw to 8 and stuff like that. But we'll let it slide. He discarded the Zero anyway, so we'll let it slide. That's basically BlightBreed. Not really, kind of. I mean, Archer's really good at the game, so it's really hard, versing Archer. I think
Combination of really good and really good hands, and I had shit hands.
Dude,
so...
I was so goddamn lucky in this game. I would love to just, oh yeah, it's total skill. Yeah, you can't beat me, skill issue. I drew so well in both of these games.
Yeah, you did.
And the second one, you weren't drawing too badly, but that first one, your deck just hated you.
Yeah, that Charles
All
deck
times my first sandwich is all vials.
That Charles deck is a bit weak. It needs to be redone because, as I said, it's quite an old build.
Yeah. Also, I will say the rejected does need to be overcharged. And I will say, part of the problem with his Jules deck is that we just did a lot of tweaking to Jules.
Needs to be nerfed as well.
Oh, Invigorate needs to at least go down to 2. But yeah, there's a couple tweaks we need to make. Also, I was using Jules Clan. We just really dug into the whole Jules Clan and cranked it up in power level because Jules has been non-competitive for a long time.
Yeah.
So that deck is possibly a little overpowered. We'll find some tweaks and dial Jules a little back.
I think the main
I drew like a maniac.
Yeah, the main thing is that you had really good draws. Do you guys want to have one more game? Maybe switch out Archer, since Archer just absolutely dominates every time, and then get Jenny in here, and then Jenny and Jake converse.
Oh, Jenny, come on in.
Okay.
Alright, Jenny,
Okay.
get your Valerie deck out. Let's show people how Valerie plays. This is a good showcase of how each clan plays as well. Sort of. I mean, Arch has been absolutely dominating. But other than that,
Well, there was at least that was a really fun demonstration of how Jules works now with like all the adrenaline synergy. That is a fun clan now.
yeah, and it was also a fun demonstration on how to totally annihilate someone. But yeah, this will be a lot more competitive. Because though Jenny, you got to get Valerie out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because this time nobody's going to be cheating.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no one's going to be cheating this turn. No one's going to be drawing to 27 cards per, on each turn. So,
Also, maybe nobody will be lagging all to hell.
hey, no excuses.
That might help.
You can't use your lag as an excuse. It should be the other way around.
Plus, no, it was controller input. I would have done better except for controller input.
Oh, well, what do you mean better? You annihilated in both games. What are you talking about?
If I didn't have all this lag, I could have drawn in 9 cards.
It's the lag that's stopping you from drawing
I could've
higher,
cheated
not the
even
game's
harder.
not the game's rules.
I could have cheated so much harder if not for all this lag.
All right, coin toss. Jake, you do the coin toss. Archer did it both times last time. So what are you calling, Jenny?
Tails.
All right. It's heads. So Jake, are you going first or second?
Let me go first.
All right. There we go. It's a bit of a
It's
better
not bad.
draw. Yeah. Maybe Archer is hacking after all.
Actually, that's just my generic evil laugh. I think my generic evil hacker laugh would be like.
Oh my god.
That's just creepy. I think that's your creepy laugh, not your hacker laugh.
It sounds like an animated cartoon laugh. I would just
Like
imagine
something
a
from
small
like the
character.
60s, like an evil Batman villain from
Hey.
the 60s.
None of you have met me in person. You don't know I'm not a cartoon.
That's true. You could
Yeah.
very much be a cartoon character. I mean, we all could be.
Yeah, the one
we're in
time
the
you saw me on
We're in the
video,
Matrix.
I was
So Jake is using Matthias deck, and he has a Hunter out. Hunter's actually quite good. If you look at his Foresight special ability, on your turn, your opponent must show you the top 3 cards of their deck. Discard one of the 3 cards. So that's quite a good ability. It's quite pricey. It is 3 vial cards, but yeah, it is 1 colorless as well. So it's quite pricey, but it's also the payoff of it can be quite good. And he's also
yes,
got,
sniping like an overcharged adrenaline or a pure vial or a hybrid with that is backbreaking.
yeah, so you can literally discard any of the 3 cards that you see off the top of their deck. So if you can luckily snipe out like a pure vial or like an overcharged adrenaline or even a strong hybrid. Wait, Jenny, I don't know, did Jake end his turn?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
basically all I could do.
Alright.
Ooh. Okay. Here, mulligan this.
Jenny's mulliganing right now.
Okay, that's even worse. Okay,
No, not really. I mean, you got this. And
I
you
don't
got
have any,
yeah, but
I mean, I could.
You got some options.
yeah, I mean, you got a decent. You both have actually. This is actually decent. You both had decent draws on your first turn. And you got Greta out, which Greta is super important because of her Howling Moon special ability. She's one of the only hybrids that negates adrenaline, like standard adrenaline cards, which 99% of adrenalines are standard. So
Yeah, I'm really glad I did not see a Greta on the other side of the board.
yeah, well, when you see Greta on the other side of the board, it's kind of scary because you can't really. If you for example, if you were to use like a parry, for example, to parry the hybrids, your opponent's attack move, and they have Greta, they can also then negate your parry. So the attack, you've just wasted an adrenaline plus the vial cost, plus you've been negated, and you still take damage regardless. So yeah, Greta is quite a scary hybrid to go up against. So Incubus, which is Charles Wolf clan, a part of Charles Wolf clan, His attack move ability is Double Deal. Deal an additional 10 plus damage for each card your opponent has in their hand. If this move is negated, Incubus takes 50 damage. So if Jenny were to shoot off Double Deal, she could do 60 damage, and essentially it wouldn't defeat Hunter. So it'd be kind of pointless using that, to be honest, in my opinion. But I'm gonna let them, do what they want to do.
Wait, each card your opponent has in their hand, so 50, 60, Hunter is 70, yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip.
So Jenny's going to end her turn. Mochikano is going to end her turn, and then it's over to Jake, who can draw 5. Pretty good draws. Blake's good. The reason Blake is good is because of his Strong Claws. So if you read Strong Claws, negate 30 damage from any attack move for any one hybrid in your arena. So that covers the whole arena. And you can negate with just 2 vials, so just 1 blue and any other standard any of the red or green vial if you want, or 2 blues, and negate 30 damage.
It's actually, I will say, it is really easy to underestimate Strong Claws, because there's a lot of repeatable negates on the board that cost 2 colored vials,
Right.
and usually totally shut something down, and it feels like 2 vials where one is a colorless is pretty expensive for 30 damage, but that really, really opens up the situations you can use it in, what you can leave up for other abilities, and 30 damage is often enough to turn a lethal attack into an attack that doesn't kill a hybrid, and all that matters is that last lethal 10 damage.
Yes.
So Blake is actually really, really good.
Blake is actually, Blake is actually a really, a hybrid that's not utilized very much, but I think if we keep Strong Claws the same and we don't end up nerfing it to having it be 2 colored vials, which even in that case I think he'd still be quite strong. The Strong Claws ability, I think he's going to be quite meta, especially obviously if you're running a Valerie deck, he's in there regardless, but because he's a part of Valerie's Panther clan. But yeah, Strong Claws is actually a really good ability to have on your side.
Yeah, I don't think it's overpowered. I just think it looks weaker than it is.
But it could literally save your clan leader
attack
from...
for cheap is really good.
It could literally save your clan leader from being defeated.
I think I'm going to attack with Spite.
Spite, deal an additional 30 plus damage if the hybrid in your opponent's combat zone has taken no damage.
So 60.
60. Yep. So Incubus is has just above average defense, because average defense is 60 for most hybrids, where Incubus has 70. So for most hybrids that would have defeated them, but since Incubus has higher than average defense for a hybrid, he still has essentially 10 defense left.
That ends my turn.
Wow, you got some good cards there, Jenny. So that's the Alliance Adrenaline I was mentioning earlier. Sorry to ruin that for you, Jenny. Jake will know that you have it, but I mean, it's a very situational, and it has quite a long sort of name. But that's also our Collecticon promo that we handed out at Collecticon probably about a year ago now. I think we handed out 70 of them, so you can actually get that in physical form, and it's actually a really nice card.
I'm going to do Double Deal on Hunter.
Bold.
Deal an additional 10 damage for each hybrid your opponent has in their hand.
So that'll kill Hunter.
Each card.
So I got 3.
1.
Yep, that is exactly legal.
Yeah, that is, yeah, Hunter's gone. Oh, damn, nice. You're lucky that he didn't have a second blue, Jenny.
Second blue.
Yeah, forget what I said. I don't want to ruin too much. I'm just trying to, for the people watching, help them understand a little bit more. But yeah, you're lucky that he didn't have a second blue there. So Hunter is defeated and it deals Incubuses. So now Jenny will deal
Ah,
base 40 damage onto
Oh,
Jake's clan leader, which is Matthias. So Matthias takes 40 damage. So now it's that ends Jenny's turn since she attacked.
my turn.
Jake's turn. He just drew and mulliganed. You're not going to mulligan?
Why would I mulligan?
wait, what?
No,
wait.
no, not mulligan. Sorry.
I know, I was
Discard.
getting to
You
that.
didn't discard, did you? No. Okay. All right. Okay. So that was actually quite a good draw. So now he has
Tier
three.
one.
So you got 3 Tiger Clan members. So he just activated Tier 1 of Matthias' clan card, which is whenever you defeat an opponent's hybrid, you may take back 2 standard vials from your exhausted pile.
Now I'm gonna
Which is
pay
real handy,
these.
I discovered.
It's actually really good, yeah. So he's going to pay 1 vial cost, 1 red cost to put Victoria into the combat zone.
Those who are coming in, that's because if you look at the top right of Victoria, you'll see 1 red vial.
Yes.
So that's what she costs to get into the combat zone.
Yes. So for those of you coming in now, you can probably go back and watch the video on YouTube, but yeah, she costs 1 red vial, which is correlated to the top right-hand corner of every hybrid, but the clan leader, because clan leaders don't actually have a combat zone cost. But there's a drawback with that because that means your clan leader can be attacked directly, and if your clan leader is defeated, you lose the game. That's just for the new people coming
Skill
in.
issue.
Yes.
I'm gonna use Tiger Pounce on Incubus.
So Tiger Pounce for 40? No, for
80.
80. But
Nine Perry?
do you have 2 blue? If you use with a pure vial, you can, yes.
Yeah.
That's worth it.
Alright, so what Jenny just did, Mochikano, is Jake used Tiger Pounce, and since she has less than 5 vials in her vial reserves, Tiger Pounce deals an additional 40 plus damage on top of the standard 40 damage of Victoria. So that would have done 80 damage on Incubus and defeated him, but what Jenny did, or Mochikano did, is she used a parry with a pure vial, and a pure vial covers any amount of standard vial and any color. So she used a pure vial and she parried that, which is negate any attack move from the hybrid in your opponent's combat zone. So the attack move is finished, regardless if it's negated or not. It's straight on to the next person. So it is now Jenny's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna discard this. Wait. And I'm gonna draw 5.
So at the beginning of each turn, you have the option to discard as many as you would like, and then you draw up a 7.
Yep.
Hmm.
Before you draw, yeah. So before you draw, you can discard as many cards as you like from your hand, and then you can draw. After you draw, you can't discard any longer. So we have a pretty good stream going right
Okay.
now. We have quite a few people, which is awesome. Thank you.
9.
Thank you guys for sticking around. Yep. All right, go on, Jenny.
I'm gonna double deal on Victoria.
Sure. So that's 1 red and
Timing.
1 blue for it. So double deal. Can Jake negate that?
He's only got a single blue, so probably not.
No.
Unfortunately, he can't.
One thing you learn to look for in this game is
So,
whether or not your opponent has 2 blue vials up for a card called Negate.
Yeah, so there's a card called Parry, and it's 2 blue vials. So
Parry.
you always want to make sure that before you attack, you see that they have quite a few cards in their hand. Your opponent, obviously, I can see the cards because I'm the game master and recording this, but you can't see your opponent's card generally. But if they have 2 blue vials and they have quite a few cards in their hand, you get kind of worried that they have a parry. But Jenny saw that essentially Jake only had 1 blue vial, so even if he had a parry, he wouldn't have been able to set it off, and he's got no pure vial either, so there was no way, unless he had Greta, there was no way for him, not Greta, sorry, Charles, there's no way for him to negate that ability. So, yeah, so Victoria is defeated and Matthias takes the base damage of the hybrid in your combat zone, which is 40 for Incubus. So Matthias is a clan leader, so he's taken another 40 damage, and I'll just so he's on 80. Let me just, oh wait, 20, 40, 60, 80. Yeah, let me just clean this up a bit for you guys. Alrighty, so Matthias is on 80, and since Jenny did the attack move, it is Jake's turn. Yep. Ooh,
Yeah, so Jake's
there we go.
starting and then drawing.
Yeah, so Jake, you can discard at the start of your turn before you draw, but once you draw, you can't discard. You can't put down cards and then discard.
Yep. And generally what you're looking for is, and Jake was absolutely what he was digging for, is more vials. These vials back here, Jake only has blues and pures, but you can see the full stretch over on Jenny's side of the board. These are the resources you spend on basically everything you want to do. So if you don't have any vials sitting around, it is worth throwing away basically anything if it gets you the vials you need.
Yes, so you can.
If you don't have vials, doesn't matter what cards you have.
Yeah, so you can draw up to 7. You can't draw past 7. You can only draw to 7. So at the start of your turn, if you have like 5 adrenalines, you're only going to be able to draw 2 or 3 cards. So Jake essentially discarded as many adrenalines that he didn't think that he'd want to use, so you could draw as many cards as he could up to 7, so he could have a better chance of getting some vials out of it, which he did. So he is now basically back in action. He's back in the game. He's got some decent cards, and he also has vials now, and he's got a nice set of hybrids in the podium as well. So he's very much still in the game, even though his hybrid has 80 damage. He is very much in the... Oh, Castaway. So he just used... So Castaway... Oh.
Castaway?
Yeah, so Greta's...
It could...
No, standard adrenaline with Greta, Jenny.
Oh.
Okay. Castaway is actually an overcharged adrenaline. Greta's ability, 99% of the time, her special ability is amazing because it negates any standard adrenaline. But since Castaway is an overcharged adrenaline, she can't negate that. And Castaway is probably one of the strongest overcharged adrenalines, probably the strongest adrenaline in the game other than Rejected that we have currently. And it's your opponent must discard 1 standard hybrid of your choice from their podium to their exhausted pile. So Greta is a nuisance because of her Howling Moon, and Jake wanted her out as soon as possible so she can't keep negating adrenalines. So now Jake, what Jake will do next is he will move a hybrid up into his combat zone so he can defend Matthias.
I'm gonna use this. I'll Kumakichi up here.
Wait, a pure vial? What? He's any cost. Why didn't you just use a blue?
Because I'm trying to save my vials.
Okay.
He's trying to build up blue. Hold.
Trying to build up blue.
Okay, you know what?
Tiger Claw. Yeah, that's fair.
You know what? I thought I was crazy for paying a pure vial for Deckmaster, but paying a pure vial to get Kumakichi in the combat zone.
When he's colorless cost is crazy, yeah, but I understand what Jake's trying to do here.
Sometimes you're crazy like a fox.
Iron Fist.
I mean, he would have had to use a pure vial anyway. So now he's he's used Iron Fist, which is just a basic attack for 40 damage onto Incubus.
He dead. Oh.
Incubus is gone, and now
Incubus is very dead.
And now he can what just happened? That was weird. Alright, and now he can do now Valerie takes the base damage of the hybrid in your combat zone, which is 40. Yep. And now since Jake attacked,
2 standard vials back.
Oh, and then Jake gets 2 standard vials back because the tier 1 from Matthias' clan card is whenever you defeat an opponent's hybrid, you may take back 2 standard vials from your exhausted pile. So he's going to take blues back, I'm assuming. Oh, a blue and a red. Nice. Alright, that ends his turn since he attacked. He's used his clan card, and it's over to Jenny.
Okay, let's see.
Oh,
Okay, options. Got a couple of options. Okay, put this down.
oh, Ryuji is an absolute pain in the ass to deal with. So he is a rogue hybrid, but he's also a hidden rare. You can only have, as I stated earlier, but also for those people that weren't here earlier, you can only have one rogue hybrid or hidden rare in your deck, or a rogue hybrid hidden rare. But
I can't take it back right now.
no, you've already put him down.
Mm.
Don't
Because I
start doing an archer.
I forgot to incubate before I put that down. Okay.
You don't need to incubate. Blues maybe.
Yeah, probably I would.
Well, just wait till next turn.
I'm
I mean,
gonna
this is pretty good to use. Yeah, I was about to say. Probably pay the cost.
Wait, pay first.
So it's two
So
reds
two
and
reds
then any color.
Okay, green. Put it in there. Search.
So just for the record, you can't actually take Invigorate back. So you'd probably put Invigorate back in after you've.
So.
Yeah. She's getting Greta back. Of course she is. And then she's gonna take probably two pure vials.
I don't have any. I only have one.
Right. So maybe a blue then or a red.
I am gonna put Uchi up. Pay pure vial.
So Ryuji's play cost is one pure vial. And so as you can see with Ryuji, he's a very particular, like rogue hybrids and stuff like that have very interesting abilities. So you can see his Bat Trick, his basic attack is quite weak. It only does 20 damage. But then if you look at his Enduring Force special ability, if Ryuji takes 30 or greater damage on your opponent's turn, increase his damage by 60 plus for your next turn. So you can get him to 80 damage, and that essentially defeats 99% of hybrids in one hit.
Okay, I'm just gonna add trick on Komakichi.
For 20?
I'll let it through.
Yeah, I'd let that, yeah. So it's just 20. Just a standard attack. Just basic attack for 20.
And yeah, I end it.
Alright, we're on to Jake. Ooh,
Oh god.
Jake's getting some decent draws. Tier 1, I just want to say Tier 1 of the Matthias' clan card is actually really good.
It's very strong.
Yeah, it is. Might be too strong. We might have to nerf that to one.
Yeah,
one
I was
vial.
actually thinking it might should be one. That's another one we tweaked in this recent pass.
Yeah.
That should maybe be one standard vial.
One standard vial instead of two. Yeah.
I will say the only reason I was able to leverage it as much as I was is because I was just keeping Matthias in the combat zone, which is very risky.
It is risky,
There
but
is
it's also got a big payoff if you play him right.
Yeah.
Because his Tiger Claw, especially if you have a lot of blue vials, can absolutely destroy. But with the Valerie deck, what Jenny actually wants to do is she actually wants to eventually get Valerie into the combat zone once Jake has enough exhausted hybrids. Because if you look at Valerie, she's a clan leader. Her Blade Dance is deal an additional 20 plus damage for each of your opponent's defeated hybrids. So her base damage is 30 plus, but if your opponent has like 5 defeated hybrids, you're dealing essentially clan leader defeating damage.
I'm just gonna attack with Iron Fists.
For 40.
Okay. That's 40.
Yeah. 40, yeah. Jenny's gonna probably let that through. And then you get two vials. You get 2 vials back, Jay. Oh no, you don't. You didn't
No,
defeat.
that's
No, you
gonna
didn't
defeat him.
Yeah, you didn't defeat.
Okay.
So now Jake has to be careful because now Jenny can actually use Enduring Force since Ryuji took more than 30 damage. Jenny can actually use Enduring Force on Ryuji if she wants to, and that will make Ryuji's attack 80. But first she will decide to discard and then draw. Oh, nice draw.
Okay. Oh wait. Why did I do that? Keep. Okay.
Just for now, just take for now. Stop getting ahead of yourself. Take it back. I mean, Archer did a
Okay.
mess up as well. Just take it back and then start your incubation. Generally, once you put a hybrid down, or you put any other, or you activate any special ability or adrenaline card, you can't incubate a vial anymore. But Jenny forgot again to incubate before she put a hybrid down. But we'll allow her just this once to take it back.
It's so hard to remember.
Yeah. So
It really is.
So she wants to incubate a vial, which essentially, I guess you're going to do blue or green.
Red.
Red, okay. So what a vial incubation is, I'll explain it one more time for the people that weren't here, is at the start of your turn, before you do anything, just after you draw and put your vials down, you can flip a vial upside down. It takes that color vial out of commission for your attacking phase and your defending phase, but then once it gets back to you, you can reflip the vial and you can get 2 of that vial from your exhausted pile. So it's basically like refreshing resources in a way, but the downside to it is it needs to be used sparingly because whichever color that you're incubating takes it completely out of commission for essentially 2 turns, so 1 whole round. Because now, whoops, why did I do that? Sorry. Now, Jenny can still use Enduring Force, so that's why she didn't incubate blue or green, because I think she wants to use Enduring Force on Ryuji, because Ryuji took more than 30 damage on his last turn.
So green and blue on. Oh wait, not. Enduring Force on Kumakichi.
So, oh, I did not even realize it. You just got
Can
parry,
I use
but
Delta?
you can, yeah, you can.
I will say, I think you should have used an additional vial to actually use Bat Trick. Enduring Force only increases your power.
Yeah.
That's true. We got to use all 3, right?
Yeah, you have to use 3, Jenny. So you're gonna have to use another pure vial if you want to use Enduring Force. Because you have to use 3. Because you have to pay for Enduring Force, and then you have to use Bat Trick.
Then I wouldn't have incubated my red then.
Because special abilities don't cause damage. Just so everyone's clear on that. The team should know that. But the people that are watching this there's no special ability in this game that I know of that causes direct damage. Damage is always caused by your attack move or attack move ability. Enduring Force did buff her attack move, but she still needs to pay for Enduring Force plus Bat Trick. So now we either have to go back and fix that error, because I didn't realize that you didn't pay for Bat Trick, or you're going to have to spend that pure vial, then negate with Greta, and then do 80 on Kumakichi, which is still a good situation to be in.
You have no idea how much I'm gonna rewind, but I'll just use pure vial.
Alright, so Kumakichi's, so the parry didn't work. So what happened there is Jenny used Enduring Force. She paid it with 2 pure vials, so she paid it the Enduring Force special ability with the pure vial, which tethers onto Bat Trick, and then she paid Bat Trick with a pure vial, and then she played Enduring Force with a green and a blue that she had. Then she paid then Jake negated it, tried to negate it with parry, which is 2 blues, but then she used Greta's Howling Moon to negate back, which negates the standard adrenaline, which she used a pure vial for, which allows Ryuji's Bat Trick with the tether of Enduring Force to get through regardless. So there was a bit of negating back and forth there, a little bit of confusion, but in the end, Jenny did end up defeating Kumakichi, and she does 20 base damage to Matthias. And that ends her turn. And it's on to Jake.
Now here's something that we've never done before. Rage Machine can get rid of that, right? Even though it's incubating.
No.
No.
No, you can't. No. No.
Why not?
Because it's not classified as a vial on the board at the moment.
Okay.
I was just wondering because we never come across that before.
No, it's not. When you're incubating a vial, it's not classified as a vial because it can't be used in any way. It's essentially not there. But what you could do is if you had something like Disruptive Catalyst, which stops vial incubations, is you can stop her vial incubation, and then she has to reflip it, and then you could use Rage Machine. But essentially, with a vial incubation, it's like the vials aren't even there. But then now you have to be careful, Jenny, on your next round because he wants to use Rage Machine.
Oh, so we're up to tier 2, I believe. Right? No, still.
No, I only got 3. Yeah.
Right,
Three.
because you lost one.
Oh yeah, you lost one sadly. So, oh,
I
Tina.
was saying,
Tina's
like,
quite
taking
strong.
the tiger.
So, Tina, Matthias Cyclone, Piercing Teeth. Exhaust any 2 vials from your vial reserves and deal an additional 40 plus damage, so 80 damage in total. She's actually quite strong. I feel like she's heavily underutilized. But then again, it does cost 4 vials to actually pull off Piercing Teeth for 80 damage.
To be fair, most of the abilities that do deal 80 damage effectively cost 4.
3 or 4, or a pure vial or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Does Ryuji keep his 80 attack, or does that go back?
No, it goes
That's
back.
just for one turn.
It's just for one turn, yeah.
Okay.
Unless you hit me for 40, then I can do it again if I
It's
guess.
gonna be risky.
Yeah, so as you can see, it says increase his damage by 60 plus for your next turn. So yeah, so it's only for one turn. But if he gets hit for anything more than 30 again, or 30 or more again, then you can use Enduring Force again. But she is pretty low on vials, to be honest. So
Yeah. I'm gonna pay all these to use Piercing Teeth.
for 80 and defeat Luigi. Oof. So that's 4 vials. Jenny can't do anything because she's incubating, so she has no reds. She's got no blues for parry. She can't
I
negate.
could have had it if I got to go to vial, but that's fine.
So
That's fine.
Luigi's defeated.
And 43rd to Valerie.
And 40 on Valerie. So the clan leader takes the base damage
That's 80, so
after you
Wait,
defeat a
what?
hybrid, and
40.
Jake also gets to get 2 standard vials back. So really, that only ended up costing him 2 vials for 80 damage because of his Jake's tier 1 of his clan card. So Valerie is on 80 damage. Let me clean that up like I did last time. Okay, so Valerie's on 80 damage now, and that ends Jake's turn. And so essentially that ended up only costing him 2 vials because tier 1 of Matthias's clan card allows him to get 2 vials back if he defeats a hybrid. So that only cost him 2 vials. That's brutal. So unincubate now, Jenny. So, and then get to, now the red is back in play. And now what Jenny can do, she can go into an exhausted pile. That is called an incubation cycle, which is completed. And she can get 2 reds back from her exhausted pile. I think you already had 2 reds, didn't you? Yep. So now, yeah.
Deckmaster.
Alright, so she's going to use Deckmaster for 1 blue, which is draw 3 cards anytime during your turn. Nice.
Oh, thank God. Oh,
So she's happy she got Zera because of her healing aura. Remove damage counters equal to 30 for any one of your hybrids in your arena. So if she uses healing aura,
okay, here.
which she's going to do, she's going to have no green vials. But she does get to heal 30 off of Valerie.
And I end my turn.
Alright, so we're on to Jake. Jenny ended her turn. She didn't choose to attack with Scrap. Well, I mean, she couldn't actually because she didn't have a green vial because she used the green vial to heal with Zera to heal Valerie. Phew, that is a brutal draw. Oh, there you go.
I already got 5.
Oh, hello.
I mean, you can discard.
I could.
Somebody joined.
Welcome, Shav, if I have not already greeted you. I don't think I have.
So what Jake is trying to work out now is since he has a full podium, a full arena, he can't put down his other Tiger hybrid that he wants to get into the podium so he can reach tier 2 of his clan card, because he has a full arena. But what you can do, as we did explain earlier, is you can discard a hybrid from your podium by playing that hybrid's vial cost, which is in the top right corner, and putting them into your exhausted pile. So he's trying to determine whether it's worth it to discard Blake so he can put the other Tiger Clan hybrid into his combat zone so he can hit tier 2 of his clan card, which he's going to do. So he's going to discard Blake, and then he's going to put in Brutus, which means he has 1, 2, 3, 4 Tiger hybrids, which means he hits tier 2 of his clan card, which is so tier 1 is still in effect, but he's also hit tier 2 now, which means whenever you deal damage to one of your opponent's hybrids, they must discard 1 vial from their vial reserves. So essentially now on each turn, if he defeats a hybrid, he gets 2 standard vials back, and his opponent also needs to discard one of their vials. So it's literally just vial choking the hell out of your opponent while you're basically vial building.
I'm going to use Rage Machine with my Pure Vial on 2 of your red vials.
Can I disrupt?
Yeah, you can. So Disrupt is on your turn negate an opponent's hybrid special ability. Rage Machine is a special ability. So Jenny's going to have to pay a blue and 1 red.
I don't know if it's worth it because it's still.
It's probably not worth it.
Yeah.
Because you're still going to have to, it's really only worth it if you. If he's trying to take away one of your pure vials. If you had one, then it'd be worth it. But so, what are you paying for? Are you discarding 2 reds, or her blue and a red? It's Jake's choice.
Question is if I want to attack or not.
Jake, what are you doing with Rage Machine?
What?
Are you going to discard 2 reds or a red and a blue?
I already said 2 reds.
Oh, okay, right. I didn't hear that. My bad. So yeah, BlightBreed is very much built like it's kind of like you could look at it as like chess TCG, like chess in TCG form almost, with more randomness than chess, of course. But it's very much like chess. You really got to plan ahead a lot and really think of what you're going to do.
I guess it'll end my turn.
Okay, Jake's ending his turn. We're on to Jenny.
Okay. Okay, I'll put that in.
Alright, Serene. So 1, 2, 3. So she gets to activate the first tier of her clan card, which probably needs to be buffed because it's a little bit weak for Valerie, the first tier. The first tier is after your opponent draws at the start of their turn, they must reveal 1 hybrid from their hand. Generally, if you get that off mid to late game, it's kind of pointless by that point. It's good early on, but I mean it's kind of pointless. But I mean it's still useful to some degree, but we kind of want to buff that because it's probably the weakest of the clan cards for tier 1. Alright.
I'm just gonna scrap
Scrapping.
Scrap.
I'm going to use Sabotage.
Sabotage on your opponent's turn, negate any one of their attack moves for Tina. Ooh. So 1 red and 1 blue, Jake. Oh, damn, I totally forgot about Sabotage. Alright, that ends Jenny's turn, sadly.
Can I play Disrupt?
Oh, you can actually, yeah, but are you gonna really waste all? I mean, yeah, I mean you can if you want, yeah.
That's
So
totally worth it.
that's totally worth it, yeah. So Jenny's actually going to play Disrupt and negate your Sabotage. So Disrupt stops
Because
a
that's lethal.
Disrupt is it negates opponent's hybrid special ability. So you negated her attack move, and now she's negating your special ability. So
So she's hitting me for 55.
55, yeah.
55.
So
That is
50,
really 5
Oh,
is
55,
really
yeah.
annoying.
That's
55
not
is
quite
really
lethal.
annoying.
Wow.
well, that's 5 off from.
I mean, that's the maximum he can do.
No, it goes
It's not-
by. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
the maximum he can do.
That's the
55.
most.
That needs to be up to 20.
Yes, it does.
that's kind of annoying.
But I
like-
purposely did it as kind of a, because it's quite cheap for 55 damage. Well, not really though. Not anymore.
It's not, though.
Not
yeah.
anymore. It used to be with the old build, but not anymore. So that needs to be up to 20 plus. So we will up that to 20 plus.
But then we made everything powerful.
We did. So Tina's got 5 health left, 5 defense. All right. That ends Jenny's turn. And Jake, do you have a hybrid in your hand because Jenny's playing card after you? Actually, yeah. So
Oh,
it's supposed to be after you draw, but it doesn't matter. So he's got Sheath, which can actually lock down a clan card for 3 consecutive turns. Because if we look at Sheath, crippling poison.
Mine's kind of pointless.
But it is,
Like,
yeah. It is. Right now it's pointless. If you were tier 3, it wouldn't be pointless. So he's using Distill. So an incubation
rid of
cycle.
it.
Oh, you got rid of it. Right.
I don't think I've ever gone to. No, I did, but it's like very late. Or it's like to the point where it's pointless. Oh god.
My deck master.
Deck master. So draw 3 cards anytime during your turn. Wow. You can just deck master again if you want.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Deck master again. Oh my
There we
god. What is that? So Jake only has 2 cards left in his deck. Jenny has 13. So we're getting to endgame here. This is the next few turns will be the deciding factor of who wins this game.
I want to play a pure vial and use piercing teeth.
So pure vial and then 2 other vials.
Yeah.
So just you got heaps of
I think I'll use the pure for the special and then for the
so
piercing
yeah,
teeth.
so you use pure for piercing teeth, and then you have to discard 2 vials from your vial reserve to deal the additional 40 damage. Yeah.
That's 80 damage.
So
And 40 to Valerie.
Can I strong close?
Yeah, absolutely.
if you want, yeah.
That would cut it down to 50, which is not quite lethal.
50 damage on Blake,
Oh,
because
God.
Jenny
I'm
used
gonna
Strong
die.
Claws, which is Blake's special ability, which is negate 30 damage from any attack move for anyone hybrid in your arena. So she negated 30 damage, and essentially, instead of dying, she's now
I should have
got
rage machine first, but you live and you learn.
yeah. But I mean, I think that's GG though, Jen. But draw your hand anyway. But I think that's game over for you. But draw your hand. You can still make something happen. Nice.
Can I? Okay, I'm gonna heal Valerie. For 1 pure.
So you're gonna with combat focus. So Serene's special ability is on your turn, remove 40 damage from anyone hybrid in your arena. So that includes the clan leader. So she's going to heal Valerie.
Did I just use a pure file? Yeah, probably use a pure file just to attack.
Alright, scrap. She's using scrap on you.
2 different options. I'm going to pay my pure vial and use resurrection.
Alright, so what Resurrection does, just for the people watching, is Resurrection is Michael's Tiger Clan's special ability. On your opponent's turn, if a non-clan leader hybrid in your combat zone is defeated, remove all that hybrid's damage or any effects, leave them in the combat zone. So Scrap by Blake from Blake would have defeated Tina. So, but Resurrection literally allows Tina to come back from the grave, and now that ends Jenny's turn, and it's over to Jake.
Can y'all hear me now? Am I back?
Yep, you're back.
That was kind of pointless, but it
Last,
doesn't matter.
last
I
two
got
cards.
for a second.
Ooh, this could go out anyway. Oh wait, you didn't get your. Wait, no, you didn't.
I didn't defeat it, so
Yeah. This is a tough game. Who's going to come out victorious?
tax is so costly.
Yeah, but she can't do anything.
Yeah, I'm just gonna regular attack for 40.
And defeat Blake. Blake's defeated. That's 40 damage on Valerie. Alright, that ends... oh wait, you get to draw 2 vials.
Oh yes, thank you.
And you also... Jenny has to discard a vial.
No, why?
Tier
Is that
2?
a damage?
Tier 2. Whenever you deal damage to one of your opponent's hybrids, they must discard 1 vial from their vial reserves. So you have to discard a vial. So what's Jenny gonna do? You can only get Greta or Zera into your combat zone. This is coming down to the wire. Jake needs to do more damage on Valerie, otherwise Jenny wins. But if Jenny can't do anything, then Jake wins.
Okay, I'm gonna use this.
Deck Master with a blue. Okay. Hopefully you get vials. You're down to the wire.
Okay.
Right, so that gives you... No, it doesn't. Okay, Jenny can't do anything. So it's Jake's turn. If you damage Jenny, she has to discard a vial, and you get 2 vials back, Jake.
Yeah, I know.
With with your clan card, sorry. Which that Matthias clan card is ridiculous. Once you hit tier 2 anyway. Even tier 1's crazy. Once you hit tier 2 on Valerie's, it's actually quite good. And tier 3 is actually really good. Tier 1 is just what lets down Valerie's card, which will be fixed. Tier 1 will be buffed for Valerie's clan card. But I think that's GG for you, Jenny. I think you should call it.
Can I see where it goes?
Yeah, but he's going to hit you now, and then he's going to get 2 vials back from his exhausted pile, and then you're going to have to discard your only green vial. And you've only got 2 cards left.
Okay.
But it's up to you. We can see where this goes. Let's just end it.
It's up to you.
Just end it. Just end it. That's
You're going to
fine.
call it?
GG.
Yeah, GG. Alright, so Jake won that one. The reason Jake won that one is basically because... Let's just have a look at your last 2 cards, Jenny. What are they? So you had... Okay, so you had Kenny you can't do anything with, and then you had a red vial, so green and red you wouldn't have been... Yeah, but you can't do anything with it.
What if no?
No.
I couldn't.
So she wouldn't even, because she would have had to discard her green vial, because what would have happened is Jake would have attacked with Tina, and the clan card allows you to deal damage and get 2 standard vials back. Sorry, if you deal damage, you get 2 standard vials back from your exhausted pile. So he would have had even more vials, and then Jenny would have had to discard her only 1 green vial, and then she would have had only 1 red vial left, and she cannot do anything. She cannot continue the game, while Jake can still continue the game, even though his clan leader has more damage. But Jenny is unable to continue the game because she literally cannot do anything, where whilst Jake still can, so he wins the game regardless. So that's why Jenny called it at the end there, because there's literally nothing she can do to bring it back. It's game over. Yeah. She wouldn't have even been able to pull Hunter out of the combat zone and put forward Valerie. And even if she could put forward Valerie for free, because clan leaders don't have a play cost, she can't do any abilities. So that was a close game. That literally came down to the wire.
That was very close. I thought I was dead.
I thought there was a moment there at the end where I was like, oh, if Jenny gets a lot of vials at the end here, you might have to call it, Jake. And since, you know, Matthias has more damage dealt than her Valerie, which literally only had 50 in compared to your 100, I thought it was game over, but you vialed her out in the end, and she was unable to continue.
The clan card is what really helped me.
That clan card is brutal, yeah. Unfortunately, Jenny got to a tier 2 a little late. Did you even get to tier 2, Jenny?
Looks like it. The marker's on 2.
Yeah, so, but no, I don't think she got to tier 2 though. No, she only got to tier 1. So the unfortunate thing is with Valerie's clan card currently is tier 1 is very underpowered. Tier 2 and tier 3 are perfectly fine. They're actually really powerful, but tier 1 will need to be powered up a bit. Jake essentially won thanks to his clan card, getting those vials back and having Jenny have to exhaust a vial from her vial reserves each time she took damage, and she was already low on vials, so that was very detrimental to her position. And there was literally nothing she could do at the end there. Even if they played it out, it would have literally ended up in this position with Jake winning, because there's still so much he could do. So that was a good game. It came down to literally came down to the wires. That was a great game to watch and a really good game to showcase, you know, BlightBreed's gameplay. It was a little bit slow because, you know, I was trying to explain things, we were trying to explain things, and there's sometimes you're both playing really, really well and negating each other, that the games can be quite slow. But then you also saw earlier, especially the people that were here from the start, as how quick you can actually destroy someone as well if you watch. I'll upload this to YouTube, so for the people that didn't see, you watch the first 2 games where Archer is versing Jake, and Jake gets destroyed within like 15, 20 minutes each time. Yeah, Archer absolutely destroys Jake both games. So yeah, it's really versatile. So there's games that can go for literally 15 minutes, and there's games that can go for, you know, 45 minutes, as this game did, because they're both negating constantly and both getting good draws and both playing really well. But yeah, anyway, guys, I'll end the stream there. It's been going for long enough. It's been going for almost 3 hours. Thank you guys for the live viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel. I'll leave the Discord link in the description of this video. So for those of you that would like to join the disco, let's go disco, guys. Woo! For those of you that would like to join the Discord and haven't already, I'll leave a link in the description. I'll also leave a link to the Instagram in the description as well. Thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed this gameplay video. Thank you to the live viewers. Thank you to you guys watching on YouTube, and we will see you in the next video. Yeah, so hope you enjoyed the BlightBreed gameplay. Catch you guys later.